Now let's move to our other step, that is treatment of wastewater. Now first of all, we are going to understand this treatment by an activity, then we are going to move on how the water is treated on a large scale in wastewater treatment plant. So in activity, what we are going to do is, first of all, what we need to do is fill the glass jar that is 3/4 full of water. So that is our first and foremost step. That is, just fill the water, that is clean water, with in a jar that should be 3/4, right? After that, add in this some dirty organic matter. So what is dirty organic matter here? Is our vegetable waste or fruit waste, like these things, like cow dung and all that. You can put it in here in small amount. And after that, what you need to do is cap the jar properly and shake well and keep in sun for 2 days, so that there will be a proper mixing of these dirty organic matter into the water, right? After that, what you need to do is add from this, take a small sample into a test tube, like the organic like the jar which you have kept in sun for 2 days. From that, take a small sample in a test tube and name it as sample 1 before treatment. Okay, and after that, what you need to do is, in the jar, like, keep this test tube aside, that we are going to see in our observation, like what will be the different things observed in this. After that, what you need to do is take the jar again. In that jar, what you need to do is use the aerators. Now, from where you can get these aerators? Like from the aquarium. You have these aquariums in your homes or in your schools. You can put that aerator into the jar, join that, and again do the aeration process, like switch on the aerators. Now what aerators do is, what you have to do is here, keep going on this process with several hours, or what you can do is leave it for overnight, so that there will be a proper aeration. And what happens because of aeration? The microorganism grows. Now the microorganisms are very essential things here, because what they do is they convert this dirty matter, which is organic matter, into a proper manure form, right? So that we are also going to discuss in a further slide. After that, what you need to do is, again, take another sample and pour it in a test tube and name that test tube as a sample 2 after treatment. Okay, now keep this test tube aside in a test tube stand and continue with this jar the further process. Now what you need to do is fold a filter paper, as we have done in many of the activities before also. Place that filter paper into the funnel and with some water drops just wet it, and in that, first of all, add, like you have a filter paper here, into the funnel. Here, fold the filter paper and first of all add the layer of sand, first layer, second layer of your fine gravel, and third layer of your medium gravel. Now here in the picture you can clearly understand that how you need to add all the things, right? After that, what you need to do is pour this aerated liquid, which we have kept for aeration for overnight or for several hours. Pour that liquid into the beaker and filter it through this funnel. Now what is happening? The water after filtration will be collected into this beaker, right? Now once you do that, what you need to do is take a sample from this and keep it as name it as filtered sample 3. Keep it in a test tube. Name that test tube as test tube or sample 3 filtered. Now keep the test tube aside in the test tube and again continue with this water, which is here in the jar, with the further process, that is add chlorine tablets into this. Now when we add chlorine tablet into this, the other organism or other microorganism or other different things or the disease causing organism that are present in this water will be killed by the action of chlorine. Now take a small sample from that into a test tube and name that test tube as sample 4 chlorinated, right? Now what are the different things we are going to observe in all the 4 test tubes that I am going to discuss further. Now, once we have done with the activity, what are the different things that you are going to observe? We are going to see here. Now, we know that we have collected 4 test tubes. There is test tube 1, which was collected before the process, that is our sample 1, that is before treatment, right? After that, we took another test tube in which we named as sample 2, and it was after treatment. And after treatment, what was the step done here is aeration, right? Aeration we have done with the help of aerator, which we took from the aquarium, so that there will be a proper bubble formation, and because of that bubble, there will be a formation of microorganisms that are going to act on the waste that is present in the wastewater. Then we have seen that we have took a third sample, that is our sample 3. We named it as sample 3 filtered. And at last, with proper treatment, we have collected our sample 4, which was like it is named as chlorinated. So these were the 4 test tubes which we have kept aside after performing all the steps. Now, in the first sample, what we are going to observe is a very bad smell was coming because of the dirty organic matter present in this, right? The water is very dirty, like the color you will see the water is very dirty here. But when we have done the aeration process, after the aeration process, what is there? The bubble formation will there, and because of the bubble formation, or we can say that because of the proper oxygen here, more amount of microbes are going to grow here. And what they are going to do is, these microbes are going to work on the waste that is present here and going to convert that waste into useful waste, or going to decompose that waste. Now, because of that decomposition, the waste here, which was here the organic waste, will be converted into proper manure. Now, after that, what we have done, that we have seen or taken a sample 3 where it is collected after the filtration process. Now, when we are going to do the filtration process, and after that the sample which we took, what it will result, these all the manure or all the solid waste which was here will be remained on that filter paper and will get here the clean water. Now, here clean water is just the solid waste is removed here by the filtered paper. Now, the last sample was our sample 4, that was chlorinated. Now, because of chlorinated, or we can say that when chlorine is added into the water. Now, here when we are going to see in sample 3, the water is clean, but the waste, the microorganisms are still present in the water, which are not seen by the naked eyes, right? Now, when we are going to add chlorine into the solution or into a sample 4, our last sample, all the microbes that are present in this sample will going to be die off, and at last we are going to get a proper clean water. Now, this is how the treatment of polluted water is done. But what is the main thing here? If we are going to perform this activity, only a small amount of water is getting clean. But this activity, or we can say that these steps are done on a large scale in a wastewater treatment plant, so that a large amount of wastewater can be treated properly and it will be converted into clean water, so that it can be disposed into the water bodies, or it can be used by the other humans or for other human or useful activities.